Let me go over the logistics of this fall 2020 edition of CSE 291D or 234. The prerequisites, a course on ML algorithms is absolutely essential, and a course on either database systems or operating systems is essential. On the database systems course, it has to be the systems internals of RDBMSs, not just the introductory database course that covers relational model and SQL. Okay, so the equivalent would be like 132C. If you have not taken these courses, but you have substantial project experience or industrial experience on either of these topics, that may suffice for the prerequisite. And so just email me with the details if you want me to allow you to enroll. More details can be seen on the course homepage, which is actually live, so you can go check it out at that link given there. Now notice that because machine learning is available in so many areas and so many departments, I'm not going to specify a course number, but an equivalent would be CSE 151. Same thing for databases and operating systems. It doesn't have to be a course taken at UCSD, could have been taken elsewhere. In terms of the components and grading, again, details are posted on the web page. There are going to be 3 graded components: quizzes, exams, and paper reviews, roughly a quarter, half, and quarter of the grade for them. There are going to be 4 quizzes spread across the quarter, and the dates I will announce later. All the quizzes and exams will be delivered as Canvas quizzes online, so you must be on Canvas. Some of you who have been approved for enrollment are still not on the Canvas roster. I believe the staff are still working on adding students to the database, so eventually you should get in there. If you don't find your name on Canvas by the end of this week, make sure to email me and the ITS staff and make sure you're on the Canvas roster. The quizzes will be roughly 20 minutes each, and you will have a time window to take the quiz, so it'll also be asynchronous, 6 hours roughly, I think. I'll have to decide that. The exams, the dates are fixed. It's going to be November 10th, Tuesday, and December 12th, Saturday. The exams are not cumulative. The first exam will cover the first half. The second exam will cover the second half. Each exam is about 80 minutes long, so that's roughly the same as the lecture slot. The window for taking the exam will be longer than the window for the quizzes, and I think it'll be one whole day, like 24 hours. All the paper reviews will be due via Google Forms. I will explain about the paper reviews shortly. There'll be 9 papers listed for you to review. There'll be a template for the review. The TA will evaluate it, and then the best 8 out of those 9 will be taken in the end, and that's 24% of the grade. In terms of grading scheme, my grading schemes are all transparent. They're always posted on the homepage. So again, go to the course homepage to check this out. What I'm doing, I usually prefer an absolute grading scheme. I don't like relative grading. I don't think it's conducive to a kind of a congenial learning environment with peer-to-peer learning and so on. So I use absolute grading. But because this is the first edition that is online only, and because this is the first non-project edition, mainstreamed version of my earlier 291s, I'm also giving you a relative bin to make sure that people don't fall off, so that the thresholds can be tuned later. So these are the thresholds. They're all listed on the course homepage. Go check it out. The relative bin basically sorts the students by the total score at the end of the class. And depending on which bin you fall in, you'll get that grade. The absolute cutoff is basically your score is independent of everybody else's. So if everyone does well, there is no reason why everyone should not get an A+ or an A or an whatever else. So the absolute cutoff gives you a minimum guarantee on your grade. As an example, if your final score total score ends up being 82, but you're in the 43rd percentile, so that means 43% of the class scored less than you. The relative bin would put you at 57, which is a B grade, but the score 82, the threshold is about 80 below 85, so it'll get you an A-. And so the final grade is going to be better of the two, and that'll be an A-. Okay, so what this means is you're free to kind of help out your peers on Piazza by pitching in with discussions and so on. There is no reason to feel that if you're competing with the other students in the class. The course schedule, so like I said, it's going to be roughly structured along the 3 phases of machine learning lifecycle that I discussed, the source, build, deploy lifecycle. These are the specific topics. Now the schedule is tentative, except for the exam dates, which are fixed. I think the schedule will probably be the same. I might adjust some of the latter topics. So the first few topics focus on the central part of the lifecycle, which is the building stage. That's often the most resource intensive for many applications. A lot of machine learning algorithms are taught in this stage. And so I want to start with that. That'll probably be the most familiar for you if you have an ML background or an ML course that you've taken. We'll cover how do you scale classical ML training, how do we do deep learning, and the systems for deep learning. And then the larger feature engineering and model selection space that goes around model building, and hardware accelerators for doing all that. So that roughly aligns with the build phase. And then the exam will focus on those topics. Then we'll cover the deploy phase, where we talk about ML deployment. How do we send these prediction pipelines to integrate them with production kind of web environments and so on. And the increasing trend to create platforms for orchestrating ML workflows in real world organizations. And also this notion of feature stores that have emerged recently that aid in deploying end-to-end data pipelines for ML. Then for the source stage, we'll cover that topic briefly. So data sourcing and organization, there's a wide variety of activities there, but not all of that have been intensively studied. So it's still active research. And the last couple of topics, I might switch it around, but for now, we're going to cover systems for unstructured data, multimedia, text, and so on. And this notion of explanation and other societal issues, like maybe ethics and fairness and privacy and security as well towards the end, if there's time. I might also add one or two guest lecturers from industry. Like for example, for my DSE 102, the undergrad version of this class, I invited a researcher from Google Brain and from a startup called Verda. I'm trying to arrange a couple of lectures like that for this class as well. I'll keep you posted. Now the textbook, this is sort of the first course of its kind, as far as I can tell, that covers these three areas together. And the closest book is the book that I co-authored myself. Morgan and Claypool released it last year. It's the Data Management and Machine Learning Systems book. It's available for free for academics if you're on an academic network. So if you access this via the UCSD VPN, you can get the PDF for free from that link that is given down there. If you want to purchase it, you can purchase it too. There's a link on that website again. And I think it's also available on our Kaiser library. Now, because this is the first course of its kind that I'm designed that's there at the UCSD level, there are a couple of similar courses in other universities, but not as much from the systems and the database standpoint. So sort of the students who are enrolled and taking this course for the first time, you're sort of like guinea pigs. You can think of yourself as guinea pigs for kind of giving me feedback on how this course goes, what works, what doesn't work, and what can be improved for future editions of this course. So I would welcome any sort of constructive feedback for me to improve this course. Another way for you to look at this is you're all pioneers and not guinea pigs. So you're actually breaking new ground with this course that covers the end-to-end data systems for ML, the whole life cycle and the ML engineering aspects. So there might be some glitches here and there on some topics. So if there is any such issues, feel free to let me know and I'll try to address it. There are some issues that are not clear, post on Piazza, and then I'm happy to discuss more. Now, this edition is online only as per the university's restrictions around the pandemic situation. So we will be using these three tools, Canvas, Zoom, and Piazza. Now, Canvas is the one-stop shop for everything that the university recommends. So all course announcements, meeting links, quizzes, and exams are going to be via Canvas. All my lectures and talks, the videos will be posted on Canvas under the Files tab. So you can go look at it there. Now, for convenience, I'm also posting this on YouTube. Zoom will be used for playing these videos live, and I'll take live Q&A during the video. So feel free to raise your hand and interrupt during the lecture, and I will answer the questions live. Major points and announcements I will summarize as a Piazza post or a Canvas announcement later. Now, the Zoom links for the live lectures and the office hours are posted on the Canvas announcement and on Piazza. Do not make any of these Zoom links public. The risk of Zoom bombing is pretty high when the links are public. So please keep it to only within the enrolled students in this class or the students who have been approved for enrollment. Do not share it with anyone else. Piazza is being used informally for you to answer questions, for you to post questions and doubts. I will try to answer them. The TA might answer some. Other students are more than welcome to pitch in and answer to create a more discussion-oriented environment. All the announcements regarding the course will be posted on Canvas, but I will also replicate them on Piazza and send emails from there, just for redundancy to make sure that you see the announcements. Administrivia, and of course, you know the lecture slots. We are in the lecture slot 1 to 2:20, Tuesdays and Thursdays. The videos will be posted on YouTube and Canvas for you to look at it asynchronously. You're not required to attend the live lectures, but it's advice that you do so that you can ask questions, you can listen in on the discussions and so on. But also you're welcome to look at it asynchronously on your own time. Office hours, those are my office hours right after the Thursday lecture. And that includes today. So the Zoom conference call link again is posted on the Piazza and Canvas pages. Gradebook, quizzes and exams, all the scores will be posted on the gradebook. The paper review scores will also be posted on the gradebook. That's the link for the Piazza page. Again, the Piazza page is protected with an access code that is available on Canvas. If you are still not on the Canvas roster, I would have sent you the access code, or I would have manually added you to Piazza already if I have approved your enrollment. And again, just to recap, keep the Piazza page only to the enrolled students or the students approved for enrollment. If you don't feel like taking this course, you want to drop out, feel free to drop out of the Piazza page yourself. And the TA for this class is Too Kind. So that's his email address over there. His office hours are posted on the course homepage. I will shortly discuss what the TA's role is in this class. He will primarily handle the paper reviews. General do's and don'ts, best practices, I mean, these are standard stuff. Try to join the synchronous Zoom lectures to ask doubts, questions that I can answer live, that others can pitch in on, but it's not mandatory. You can view the lectures synchronously yourself. You can review them. This is one of the nice things about having video lectures is even if you attend the live session, if you want to review it later, you can go and replay the video. We used to have podcasts for in-person lectures. I used to enable podcasts in my classes, but now I'm just recording videos and posting them. Follow all the announcements. I might have some important announcements regarding the dates of the quizzes and so on, and the modality and the restrictions on the Canvas quizzes. Make sure to read them carefully. Participate in the class discussions on Piazza. Unfortunately, this online-only modality means everybody is remote. We don't get to see each other in person and chit-chat and all of that. So kind of a discussion-oriented environment can be replicated on this Piazza page. And if you're going to email me regarding anything related to the course, please use that subject prefix CSE 291D so that I can send it to the right label. Faculty tend to get a lot of emails. I get on average about 50 to 80, maybe even 100 emails a day sometimes. So you don't want me to miss your important email regarding your course logistics or anything. Now, do not record any of the live Zoom sessions, which is the lecture slots or the office hours, without explicit permission from me and from all the other participating students. Like I said, if there are any major announcements or major clarifications that I do during the live session, I will post it as a summary on the Piazza and Canvas pages afterwards. And during the Zoom sessions, do not harass, intimidate, or intentionally talk over the other students. Again, don't harass students don't harass each other on the Piazza page or on Canvas either. Raise your hand on Zoom and then I will answer your question, or enter it onto the chat after you do that, and then I will pause and answer the questions. And last thing, do not violate academic integrity. Again, goes without saying. The graded quizzes and graded exams are individual only, so you shouldn't collude or collaborate or kind of use mailing boards or chat boards or whatever. It has to be your own. The exams and quizzes are open book, open notes, open internet. See the details on the course homepage. All you are required to do is sign an academic integrity pledge. So if you violate it, that's on you. There are mechanisms for me to detect academic integrity violations, so I will follow through on that. Canvas offers some mechanisms for me. Then paper reviews. Now I will talk briefly about paper reviews in the next video. Again, a paper reviews discussion is allowed, but the review has to be written by yourself. Last thing, there is an access survey form that I've released. So for students who are enrolled in this class or approved for enrollment so far, please go and fill out this access survey as soon as possible. It'll help me tailor the online-only logistics more appropriately for the current set of enrolled students. So in the next video, we'll talk a little bit more about the paper review component. Thank you.